Hold up, why aren't we live? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Late Night Show. And I'm your host, Dr. Kojo. We have a very exciting topic tonight. More so of a thought-provoking topic, but this is going to be a good one nonetheless. So go ahead, use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from and your name if it doesn't already show. And we are underway. Let's see what they're talking about here. My good buddy just fractured his wrist. Dang, hope you're okay. You gotta get a cast. Mickey Ficky. A lot's happening. A lot is happening right now. What's going on right now? Let me scoot over a little bit so I'm a bit more Sorry, Zoe. She don't like when I make noises. Sorry, sweetheart. Sorry, baby. All right, okay. Let me see the comments here. Read out where people are from, and then we will get to talking about the topic. And I'll also talk about my upcoming comedy show, which will be occurring in Springfield, Massachusetts. So we went out east for a little bit. We're back west. We're going to go back out east. Leilani, how are you? She's our moderator from New York City. It's good to have you here. Good to have you here. La Miss on TikTok. Educator, mom, wife. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Let me go throw some water in the fridge real quick. 1 second, y'all. I ain't got no water in the fridge. Need some water in the fridge. That's what we're gonna need. Oh boy, what a day. I have not done a lot today. I mean, I've had a decent day, but I'm way more tired than I should be today for a medium energy day. Andy Green, Andy, good to see you. Good to see my Twitch people showing up. I'm good. Just surprisingly tired. Ghost, good to see you. It is good to see you. We're on the West Coast. That's why it's so bright right now. If you're checking in from the East Coast, it's probably 10:26 where you're at. My Atlanta people, my New York folks, my Boston folks, my Massachusetts folks. Little energy shot. And likewise, Leilani, thank you for asking. Somebody on somebody on TikTok says, "How are you? I'm currently on the psych ward PICU." Okay. Shout out to them for allowing you to use your phone. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. My AuDHD myself. Yes, that's how I identify. My pronouns are he / always late. That's who I am. You're Canadian tonight? Well, are you in Canada? Someone says check on your wife. Which one? Which wife should I check on? Let me know so I can prioritize. Check on your wife. Hey, these comments are amazing. Oh, you're in Canada. Okay. So we have some Canadian love. I haven't seen anybody from Canada thus far in the live stream, which is a bit unusual. We have people from all over the world and multiple folks from Toronto and Vancouver and Ottawa, but we will have you as our resident Canadian tonight. And I'm in the UK. They have some really weird rules, and I have to get someone to sign a contract. Oh, so in the UK, you can have your phone at the psych hospital. Did not know that. That's very interesting. Labita, hello. How are you? But yeah, you gotta let me know which wife I need to check up on, because I would hate to check on the wrong wife and then she didn't need their support. California in the house, Louisiana in the house, Mexico in the house. Okay, come here. I'll have family here. It's not too far. Right. That's the cool thing about being in places like New York or Michigan or even Washington, because you can get to Canada pretty easily. Just different parts of Canada, depending on what's closer to you. Louisiana, yes, as long as you use it appropriately, but if you misuse it, it'll get removed. I learned something new today. Did not know that you could use your phone at the psych hospital in the UK. So that's interesting. Chardonnay is checking in from Washington. Good to see you. Good to see you. Do I ever do lives for BPD? We have done lives for BPD back in the past, and we definitely have to, we definitely have to go through all the mental health conditions because we gained so many followers. I mean, at least 100,000 new followers every month. And those folks probably have never seen the content that we made about BPD. They haven't seen the old stuff about depression. They haven't seen the gaslighting videos. So there's a lot to rehash. A lot to rehash for me. Somebody says, any lives about CPTSD yet? Oh, we've had a lot about CPTSD. That's what I need. Sometimes you look to champion. There we go. I'm in Oklahoma, home of the tornadoes. I hope there's no tornadoes where you're at right now. Be praying for you. I get to Mexico very easily. Yeah, that's the advantage of being in Texas, actually. I think Texas is the only place that Texas. Oh, no. California, Southern California, you can also drive to Mexico. So if you're in places like El Paso, if you're in San Diego, La Jolla, you can get down to Mexico pretty easily. So that's pretty cool. Which one of those girls are you dating? Neither of them? Neither? Well, what's the correct term? Neither? What if I just told you that they were paid actresses? People are like, no, we don't want to believe that. We want to believe that she's your wife. OMG. Then watch out for the people who come on the live stream later on who are like, go hang out with your wife. Get off the live stream. Go hang out with your wife. And that's one thing about me. Whoever I'm dating, like whatever's going on. Good evening, Andrea. I always will prioritize. Don't get me wrong. I'll prioritize my person too, but for better or for worse, my relationships have always been deferential to my career, and that's probably my biggest toxic trait, if we're being honest. We graduated together, keeping your prayers certain. MD1. Okay, I'm not sure if I remember you, but congratulations. Congrats. Mickey Ficky, Mickey Ficky. Mickey Ficky. Someone said I'm so cute. I try to be cute. 82 wives and why everything feels so hard. Look, having multiple wives definitely makes life very difficult because you try and pay the bills for a family of 5, right? 4 mouths to feed plus yourself. Then you have to, manage everybody's mood. All right, no, but on a serious note, we're talking about AuDHD and why everything feels so hard tonight. And if you have autism and ADHD, things feel hard for different reasons. And I'm going to go into a couple of reasons as to why everything feels so hard. But before we do that, I just want to go ahead and rattle off my upcoming comedy show dates. The very next show will be in Springfield, Massachusetts. If you don't know where that's at, that makes 2 of us. All right. Springfield, Massachusetts is on the Massachusetts-Connecticut border. So I will be there July 25th. So July 25th, I'll be in Springfield, Massachusetts. The very next day, I'll be in Beverly, Massachusetts. July 26th is a Sunday night, 6 p.m. So Beverly, Massachusetts on the 26th and Springfield, Massachusetts on the 25th. The next week or 2 weeks after that, I'm going to be in Little Rock, Arkansas, August 8th. That's a Saturday night. Little Rock, Arkansas, a very small town. You can't get there with a nonstop flight. You have to connect somewhere. And the airport is named after Bill and Hillary Clinton. I just learned that, which is very interesting that they named their airport after Bill and Hillary Clinton. I know that Bill Clinton is from Arkansas, but this is a fun fact. And we love fun facts over here, right? Then we'll be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, August the 14th, a Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. That same weekend, we're going to end it off with a show in Huntsville, Alabama, August 16th at 8 p.m. Central Time. The next month, we're going to be in Detroit, Michigan, September 11th. It's a Friday night at the Comedy Bar in Detroit, Michigan. The next week, we'll be in Chandler, Arizona, September 17th. It's a Thursday night. The very next week, we're going to be in Columbus, Ohio, September 24th. Next week after that, let's back it up. The 23rd, we're going to be in Cleveland, Ohio. We can't forget Cleveland. Cleveland is the reason. September 23rd, Cleveland, Ohio. September 24th, Columbus, Ohio. Then September 30th, we're going to be Virginia Beach, Virginia. October 1st, we'll be in Richmond, Virginia. Then December 3rd, we will be live in San Diego, California. So those are the comedy show dates that I wanted to rattle off. I wanted to rattle those off. And then we get into the topic for tonight. And somebody says, so it's all fake. It's all fake. What do you mean it's all fake? It's not all fake. The skits are, there's a lot of realism within the skits. A lot of realism within the skits. All right, guys. So we're talking about AuDHD and why everything feels so difficult. And Sydney, we're going to talk about that tonight. ADHD and level 1 autistic. We'll love to ask for some ways to manage it. The best way to manage any type of neurodivergence is to have the right type of help around you. You're going to need some type of external assistance. Everybody needs a little bit of help, but for us, it's mandatory. And I'll look at things that my family members are doing, things that close friends are doing, and things that other fellow neurodivergent individuals are doing, and I'll see that they don't have a system. If you don't have a system, you're going to struggle to get things done. I think it's crazy how people are expected to do the majority of things by themselves. You got to make your own doctor's appointments. You have to know what type of insurance you have. Your parents did that when you're younger. You have to make your own appointments to go get your teeth cleaned. You have to go get an oil change by yourself. You got to do groceries by yourself. You got to clean the house by yourself. You got to walk the dog by yourself. That reminds me, I got to go walk this little girl before she peed in the house. This dog found a spot in the house where she started to pee without consulting with me. But that was her way of letting me know that I'm not taking her on enough walks. Too many things. It is too many things to do. And we do these things manually. That's the thing that people don't realize. Everybody says, oh, if you want to get a habit going, do it every day for 21 days. And then there you go. You created a habit. For those of us who have ADHD, doing something on back-to-back days is a huge win. You have ADHD, you do something on Monday, and you come back and do the same thing on Tuesday. That's a huge win because you more than likely had to reject your body's natural inclination to avoid that task. You did it on Monday and you did it on Tuesday. Now, let's say you do it again on Wednesday. Oh my goodness, what type of a superstar are we? Adulting is overrated. But the funny thing is a lot of us, myself included, would not go back to childhood because when you were a kid, you didn't have the control that you had now. You were kind of helpless as a child. Now you're able to do things for yourself. Level 1 still need help. Don't let it affect your sense of autonomy, though. Yeah, we all need help. And what why did your wife change your TikTok? I could stay focused. What I have realized, thought that was funny. What I have realized is that the amount of help that I require to just keep my head above water, when I think about it for too long, it's defeating. It's like, Mickey, Vicky, I need an assistant. I need an extra assistant. Then I need another assistant to help with video editing. Then I need somebody to help book stuff for me because making appointments and everything is difficult for me. Then I need a dog walker now, which I should have got a dog walker years ago. I don't know why I didn't think of that because you can go on Rover and get a dog walker. I got a dog walker. I have a housekeeper, two of them actually, and the place was clean today. So, glory, glory, hallelujah. I can think because now the place is clean once again. It wasn't clean earlier today. It was pretty damn dirty. Having to have a housekeeper, having to have meals delivered. I use Factor Meal Delivery Service, and it's pretty good, but you get tired of the meals. And I catch myself now delivering the meals to the house, and then I still go out and I look for empanadas. Like I pay for them to deliver meals to the house. I go out, I look for empanadas. I'm still looking for chicken teriyaki and fried rice with my Diet Coke. The amount of help that you need, and also certain things you can't get help with. Certain things you can't outsource, and that's the frustrating part. You have to remind yourself to drink enough water. Every now and then I'll get like random body aches, and I'll be thinking to myself, what's going on? Am I dying? Like I feel like my body's about to break down. And then I drink a tall glass of water, or I down a water bottle, and all of a sudden my brain starts to work again. I start to feel better. Like I'm alive. Like I can feel that I'm finally a human being. And all I had to do was drink water. But how do you remind yourself to drink water every day? I think it's helpful to keep like a big, emotional support water bottle around. But you have to remind yourself, hey, drink water. Drink water. Drink water. He's a businessman. No, definitely a businessman, but it's very difficult. And I can't pay anybody to hold me by the ear like this. Now, a lot of the Ghanaian elders in church, whenever we get in trouble, we have to go like this, and then we have to do like, I don't know if you call it citizen. We have to like, kneel all the way down, then get up, kneel all the way down and get up, kneel all the way down and get up. This is how they punish us when we were caught doing bad things at church. All of the African elders, we would get punished like that. Oh my goodness. I don't know where I was going with that point, but I was going somewhere with that point. So let me focus on. This is where I was going with that point. This is where I was going with that point. Thank you, Ghost. Thank you, Ghost. Because all of a sudden I'm like, why the heck am I doing this? I was telling this story for a reason, but where the heck was I going with this story? Okay, now I know where I was going with this story. I said you can't pay people or get people to do certain things for you. For example, if I have to like do the dishes, you can't pay somebody to push you towards. I mean, I guess you can, or you can ask a friend to come over and tell your friend to like physically lift you off of the couch and walk you to the kitchen and start the water. Or that's how they can get you to take a shower. And look, that might not be the worst idea in the world. Let's say you're going through a depressive funk and you can't get out of bed. It may not be a bad idea to call up a friend, and the friend comes to your house, to your place of residence. They come, they get you out of bed, they walk you to the shower, they bring you a towel, they run the water, and now you can take a shower. That may not be the worst thing in the world. Now hopefully you have a friend who will do that for you. But even if the friend does that for you, can they do that every single day? Can they pause their life to come over and physically get you in the shower? Because it takes manual work up here to take a shower. The showering part is not hard. I mean, the showering could be hard, but initiating the task of taking the shower is hard. Flossing your teeth, initiating the task of flossing your teeth is hard, which is why a lot of us floss in the shower, which I think is an excellent idea. I'm not sure who I got the idea from. I think I got it from a friend of mine. But flossing in the shower, oh, what a great idea. Now you're killing two birds in one stone. And if you're neurodivergent, that's one thing we love doing. We love doing the most with very little. We love optimizing, which isn't necessarily the healthiest thing if you're trying to optimize every single aspect of your life. But anything that will help you get going, anything that will help you get going. Blue Sky, I appreciate you. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Setting alarms doesn't work for some of us. Some of us, are numb to the alarms because there's so many alarms. How many alarms do we need? Between my two iPhones and the iPad and the big alarm clock, and I know I have an alarm. Oh, my third iPhone. I have so many alarms. The way that I get up in the morning, and I think it's therapeutic to acknowledge how difficult things are. For me, because a lot of people will see my videos, or people will track my numbers on social media, and they'll be like, "Yo, Kojo, you were just at 725,000 Instagram followers. Now you have 850,000 Instagram. Like, whoa, you're growing so fast!" And we're very happy to be growing fast, and we're happy every single person that follows y'all. That means so much to me. It means a lot to me. But I don't think people see how much goes into everything. At the end of the day, I'm still neurodivergent. I struggle with the same exact things. The way that I get myself up in the morning is by having multiple different alarm clocks in different parts of the house. Two will be in the nightstand. These two will be in the nightstand. Now I'll put the iPad at the other side of the room. Then I'll put the third iPhone in the living room. And this forces me to get up and touch the ground with my 2 feet to go put off the sound. I do this every single night. And the nights that I don't do this, I'm always late. Or I decide I'm just going to sleep in and say, okay, I'm just going to start the day off behind, and it is what it is. I have to trick myself into waking up with multiple alarm clocks around the house. I have to change a song every so often so that way, I don't get used to it. I think the most recent song that I added is Wide Awake by Katy Perry. And I used to like that song, but now I'm starting to hate it. Because if every morning you hear, I'm wide awake, I'm wide up, it gets to a point where you're like, all right, okay, I am tired of this song. I can't do this song no more. And I used to like that song. But I'm going to keep it as an alarm clock song and then eventually go to something else. Or maybe I should have multiple songs with the different devices. But waking up is so hard. Time management. I'm wide awake, and I was falling from the. I don't know why I'm singing in falsetto. That is not my key. It's not my key. But time blindness. I was late to this damn live stream. The only way to get to somewhere on time when you have ADHD, if you don't have autism, and even if you have autism as well, the only way to get to somewhere on time is to imagine that the time that you're supposed to get there is an hour earlier than the time that you're supposed to show up for real. So if you have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock, you need to tell yourself that you need to be there by 8 o'clock, 7:50 a.m. Because if you aim for 8 o'clock, you'll get there at 8:20, and you'll be 40 minutes early, and everybody will be impressed. But if you aim for 8:30, 9 o'clock, then you get there at 9:15. Now, that's how you started your day off. It's day one at a new job orientation, and you showed up 15, 20 minutes late. And now you're like, damn, these people know that I'm already unreliable. And yes, This right here, this deserves a love of the show. Do not make your favorite song your alarm. Do not do that. You will hate that song. You will hate that song. Find something else. Right? Yeah. Have a song that you don't like. A song that's very annoying. Okay? That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. On TikTok, Lens says, I've been early once in my life, only in 30 years. Wow. Kala says, me last Monday. Callie Green says, when I say I need to be somewhere at 8, I will leave at 8. Facts. Facts. Setting inconsistent times works too. 7 a.m. one day, 7:03 the next. Close, but not actual. Ooh, sitting in the parking lot at 8:20. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. That is the only way to do it. Once I wake up and I had 17 missed calls. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Derek from KABC. Derek, how are you? Derek, good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to ABC7, the whole staff over there, ABC7 LA. Y'all do a great job. I don't watch the news that often, but when I watch the news, I'm watching ABC7 LA. Derek, good to see you, my guy. Good to see you. I sent a text on my way, then leave 10 minutes later. Yeah. Yeah. Time management. I'm extremely early everywhere I go for appointments and stuff. Some people's autism is stronger than their ADHD. And I forget if you have ADHD, Leilani, but the autism could get you to places on time. Just that desire to follow the rules strictly. It can really get you to, show up to places on time. What are your, the AI on TikTok is talking to me. It says, what are your tips for waking up? Well, AI on TikTok, I just gave you my tips. Set multiple alarms, put them in different various spots around the house. Have odd times like 7:03 a.m., 7:07, 7:11, 7:12, 7:22, 7:37, 7:42. All that just to wake up at 8. If I gotta be somewhere at 8, I'm sitting in the parking lot at 7:30. Well, this is really the only way to really get there on time. I think if you're neurodivergent. Autism and ADHD, got it. Okay. So your autism is stronger than your ADHD. And I have a lot of different theories about that. I think that for most people who have autism and ADHD, your ADHD is stronger than your autism. I'd probably say, and there's no evidence to back this up. This is just my intuition, my best guess. So do not take this as evidence-based information, because everything that I say here is factually accurate. But this is my own theory. I believe that 70 to 75% of people who have autism and ADHD, the ADHD is stronger than the autism, because the ADHD is the more boisterous of the two conditions. ADHD is cantankerous, it's all over the place, it's very defiant, and autism can be defiant. And autism, you really do need your autonomy, but the ADHD just kind of overshadows autism, which is why when you get medicated for ADHD, sometimes the autism is in clear view, because now we can actually see, the autistic side of you. But then there's a minority of people out there who their autism is stronger than ADHD. And if that's the case, I think that you will get to places on time / early, and you will have more anxiety about it, but you still will get there relatively early / on time. And if your autism is stronger than your ADHD and you get somewhere on time, you probably aren't pleased with that. You're probably thinking that that's too close to call. Like you're supposed to be there at 8:15 and you got there at 8:13. You're like, that was too close. That was too close. Whereas somebody who has ADHD or their ADHD stronger than their autism, if they get there at 8:13 and they're supposed to get there at 8:15, that's a huge win. That's I mean, that if I have to be somewhere at 8:15 and I get there at 8:13, I am going to be in bliss for 2 minutes. Because what do you mean I showed up 2 minutes earlier than I was supposed to be there? That's crazy. That's crazy, 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 crazy. I prefer to not go than be late. Is that weird? No, that makes sense. Nat on TikTok says, me setting 9 alarms to get to one appointment. Ugh. Barbarella says, why do I always engage in productive procrastination? Once again, these are the brains that we have. Our brain doesn't want to be told to do things, but we still want people to tell us what to do. It doesn't make any sense. You want people to not tell you what to do so that way you can feel like you have autonomy, but then you want things to be laid out for you. So, yes, tell me what to do, but don't tell me what to do. And if you tell me what to do, don't tell me how to do it. That's the whole demand avoidance thing. And that's why those skits hit so hard. Because if you were going to do something, or if you had it on your mind to take care of something, and somebody is forcing you or reminding you or prompting you to do a certain thing, it's very frustrating because you already had it on your mind. You were already going to do it. I was already going to do it, but now you're telling me to do it, and now I don't want to do it because it was my idea to do it. We celebrate the small wins. You really have to. And I force myself to celebrate the small wins. It's very difficult for me. Very difficult for me. I get to the airport. I arrived at the airport 2 hours earlier, then walk through in 10 minutes with Clear Plus and TSA. Okay, this will not work in Atlanta, Georgia. This will not work in Los Angeles, California at LAX. It'll work in Dallas. It'll work in Augusta, Georgia. It will work in Sacramento. It may work in Seattle. It'll work in Cleveland. It won't work in Chicago. It won't work at JFK. Actually, it won't work at JFK, Newark, or LaGuardia. Nothing in New York and New Jersey. So depending on where you live, you can take your time to get into the airport. Unfortunately, I don't. Well, actually, I haven't missed a flight in knock on wood. I haven't missed a flight in quite some time, so I think I'm getting better. And Kayla says, I'm in Augusta, don't work. No, Kayla, I don't believe that. I call cap on that, Kayla. I call cap on that. I have flown out of Augusta Airport many times. I've never missed a flight out of there. And I always show up late. I'm always pleading with them to allow me to check the bags. Like, oh, can y'all check the bag? I know I'm running late. I do have pre-check, but it's Augusta, Georgia. You know, Augusta is way better than Atlanta. Way better than Atlanta. And DFW is probably the best airport in America, I think. But it can get busy sometimes. You're right. So it can get busy sometimes. And Christian says, when I travel, I pack everything the night before. I buy what I need a few days prior to. Traveling is very difficult for us. Traveling is very difficult for us. People who have autism, ADHD, because it's a change, especially when you do cross country traveling, like these West Coast to East Coast treks back and forth. That is difficult. When after Chicago, I was gassed out, guys. I was gassed out. I talked to my agent and I said, hey, with these comedy shows, let's start to book them based off of geography. Obviously, we started off in Houston because we have a lot of supporters in Houston, numbers wise. And then we went to Nashville because Nashville's my hometown. And I said, okay, it makes sense to go to Nashville after Houston. But I said, all right, we're gonna have to book these shows. Like it needs to make sense geographically, because why are we going from the West Coast to Little Rock, Arkansas, then back to the West Coast, and then we go to Louisiana and Huntsville, Alabama? We could have done it all in one weekend because it's all the South. And we're doing Massachusetts on back-to-back days. But we could have done Massachusetts when we were in New York. See what I'm saying? Like this type of planning, I should have the foresight to see these things. But sometimes I forget. Sometimes I think that I'm normal. That's one of our biggest issues. We think that we're normal sometimes, and we forget that we're neurodivergent. And, on days where I have a lot of sleep, I'll become very ambitious. And I'll say, oh, no, I can do this. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. And then, like you get to that moment that I'm like, what was I thinking? Why did I plan this with that? And then this with that? That doesn't make any sense. Like what was I thinking back then? Just got too ambitious. I thought I was normal. And then I learned the hard way Ooh, somebody says I set automations on my HomePod, not alarms. Master of ignoring alarms. If you can automate things, that is one of the best ways to not make life feel so hard. Whatever you can automate as a neurodivergent, please automate that. That might be the best advice I have all live stream. Whatever can be automated, do that as in yesterday. Autopay is one of the that comes to mind first. Like autopay, if you can autopay. Okay, Trevon, what's up? What's up? What's up? If you can autopay, cool. If you can set a system where people know, hey, this person needs this type of help, or kind of like a housekeeper. You come every Tuesday, all right, cool. Every Tuesday, I have some help. This person comes to walk the dog every Wednesday. All right, I got some help. All right. On Thursdays, I go over to so and so's friend's house to hang out, and we all play cards. We have a good time. Okay, that's for mood boosting. Cool. We know every Thursday we go to this person's house, and then we do this. We know that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday we go to the gym. So we work out 4 days a week or whatever your plan is. But one thing has become automatic. It's less thinking. One of the biggest problems is that we have to think for everything that we do. So that's why something like brushing your teeth can feel so difficult, because you have to think about all the steps that it takes to brush your teeth. You got to get up, got to go to the restroom. You got to floss before you brush, because that's how you're supposed to do it apparently. You floss before you brush. And after that, you have to remind yourself to not eat again. I know some of us have done that. You floss your teeth, you brush your teeth, and then you eat something again. And now you're like, oh, I feel too lazy to floss or brush my teeth again. I guess I'm just going to sleep with this mouth. I did that last night. Direct pay, clutch. Auto pay, clutch. No, Robin, thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. First says, I travel for work year-round with no control. Where or how long? Diagnosed 7 years into my job. Woo! Wow. Christian says, I remember I almost left my second carry-on bag in Bangkok airport on my way back. Worrying about what you could forget while you're traveling takes up a lot of mental real estate. Worrying about the things that you could forget is very time consuming, but you need to worry about it, because it would suck to leave your passport in Bangkok, Thailand. I think that's Thailand. I'm not sure, but it sucked to leave your passport in Thailand. That wouldn't be fun. It would suck for you to go on a work trip to San Francisco and then you leave your car keys in the hotel in San Francisco, and then you get back to Detroit and you're leaving the plane, and then you walk up to your car, you're looking for your keys, and then you realize that they left your keys in San Francisco. It's going to be a long night for you. It's going to be a long night for you. A long night for you. Caitlin also has another love of the show right here. I love this. Caitlin says, a visual timer is a game changer for me. Getting ready for work or an event. A visual timer. I think everybody who has ADHD needs a big clock in their house that says the time. A huge clock. Maybe a clock is as big as this sign right here. A huge clock. Maybe it flashes. Maybe it can get your attention some way, somehow, because time is not real to us. Anything that we can't see is not real to us. It's not real. So right now, I'm in the house. My mom is not here. It could be hard for me to call my mom because she's not physically here. And you'll go online, and I'll be on Instagram, and people will be having those videos where they say, call your parents every day. If you don't call your parents, you're a bad child. And the next video, you can call your mom today, right? Next video, oh, it's been a week since you called your mom. How do you feel right now? I'm trying to call my mom, but I can't. She's not physically here, so it's so difficult. So I set reminders. Every Thursday, I have a reminder on my phone. Have you checked in with your amazing family? And that prompts me to call my mom, call my sisters, check up on people. And that's every week I try. Luckily, my mom called me today, which is why one of the reasons why I was late for the live stream, but luckily she called me today. And I'm like, okay, I can catch up with mom that way. But there's nobody here. Nobody here. So you forget that there's the outside world, which is why I tell folks all the time, get outside of the house. For those people who work from home, you have to leave the house at least once a day. You don't have to, but it helps to leave the house at least once a day and talk to somebody somewhere. Talk to somebody somewhere so that way you have some sense of time, some way to differentiate the Tuesdays from the Thursdays from the Saturdays. You have to get outside of the house. The ones that say be glad ever. Right. And it makes you feel bad that you haven't called your people. But things that we don't see are not real to us. Like right now, none of my wives are in this house right now. I know y'all don't believe me, but none of them are here. So they're not real to me. So if you ask me if I have a wife, I don't have a wife because I can't see no wife. It's not real to me. And you can't hear anybody in the background. So it's not real to me. I think part of it is people don't have. Ooh. Ghost is in his bag today. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I felt this one. Ooh, I felt this one. Wow. I look around and I see Kojo Sarfo stuff. And then I look at my phone and I see, not my card. I see that I am my own screensaver. And on my other phone, I am my own screensaver. And I look around the place. There's no pictures of family. That's a very astute observation right there. Very, very, very eye-opening observation. We don't have photos of family anymore in the house, and I think that's a big problem. So I'll look to change that. I think I'll look to change that and have some reminders of family. Very interesting. Very interesting. I decided to see how long it'll take for my mom to check up on me. It was a week. Well, look, your mom might have autism and ADHD as well. She may have forgotten too. No, I mean, I feel like I have a suitcase with like a whole bunch of photos. I just have to put them up. But my goodness, I have so many amazing professional photos from all of the comedy shows that we've had. I have at least 1 million great photos from the local LA shows. Then Houston was amazing, Nashville, New York. We have so many great photos, but I also want some photos of family in there. I disappeared for a while to see who will look for me. Do this in 2026 if you're bold, because you try this and a lot of folks may not hit you up. And not that everybody is ignoring you or you're not a priority, but some of us could be neurodivergent, or people could just be going through things, you know. Turn on the light. I'm looking for family. Isn't family like it used to be? Kimberly, I know. So his wait, you have multiple wives? Like people in the chat can answer that for you. They know me. They know me well. I found no one is checking. And this is the case, guys. This is the case. But people are going through things. And I'll give you all an example. I got into the car accident last weekend. Last Sunday, I got into that car accident in Portland, where the homeless lady stole the car and she was trying to get away, and she crashed into me sitting in a parked car eating pizza. The car was totaled, and luckily I got out, no injuries. But after the accident, I posted on social media. It took my brothers a week to call me. My mom called me, my sisters called me, everybody called me, but my younger brothers, they didn't call me for like a week. And then when I got a call from Kwame, he was like, man, Kojo, we should have called you earlier. And I was like, nah, man, it's all good. It's all good. But it wasn't all good because I was hurt. I was hurt that they didn't call me. And, you know, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, like, hey, like, maybe they're busy or whatnot. But people have things going on, and people are busy. Now, I think that I still expected a call from them, but you try your best to see that, things from people's perspectives, and people, life is life for people, so it can be hard for them to check up on you. But if you stop reaching out to folks, you will learn a lot about where you stand with people. At the same time, people could be, pretty busy. If you go a month, don't ask about me. Yeah, yeah. Now there's a time frame. Everybody has a threshold where it's like, all right, it's no. Like a month without a response is like, all right, all right. You haven't looked for me in a month. That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. I appreciate you, Tron Capoeira. Thank you so much. Christian says, why when I was younger, I used to pride myself going to the club and getting girls' numbers like neurotypicals do. But when I'm at the door at the club, everything collapsed. What do you mean? You were preparing to get their numbers, and then as you got closer, you got scared? Neurodivergent psychiatry is my specialty. That's to measure love or ego. That's a good question to ask. That's a great question to ask. That's a really good question to ask. Let me see. Glad you're okay. Yeah, Honor Woods, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm alive and I'm doing good. Similar to that, I can't explain it. Okay, I mean, maybe that's some social anxiety. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, possibly some social anxiety, and also, I mean, if you're talking about, trying to get girls' numbers now, I think that's a little different from like when I was growing up. I think this now, and the state of dating and social media, and I think it's a bit more scary. It's scarier to approach the opposite sex nowadays, but back in my day, when we were younger, I think it was easier. Like we were just more free. Some people too free, but we're just a bit more free. I used to be way more social. It has changed. Mm, mm, mm. The older you get, you start to prune and get rid of like, the extracurriculars, the people that are on the periphery. Whereas like in your 20s, you're trying to pick up as many friends as possible. In your 30s and 40s and beyond that, you're mostly trying to get rid of all the dead weight, or anything that's not a priority. Pruning is a good word. I think so too. I'm proud of how I use that word in that context. I like that. Patrick, what's going on? I drank too much in my youth trying to hide my weird. That's another thing too. Our over reliance on substances to make our lives a little easier. Because if you're neurodivergent and you're a little tipsy right now, or you're watching this and you're a little high, you're probably feeling good. You're home. You got your pajamas on. If you're on the East Coast, you're comfortable. You may have some other show or music on in the background. You watch this live stream. You're lit. You're tipsy. You're having a good time. This could be how you decompress from the day. People don't talk about that a lot. It's not everybody who decides to run around and they want to be potheads. Some people have a hard time sleeping and they have 2 8 thoughts at once and they want to wind down from a long day, so they hit the bone. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or right. All I can do is provide the facts, and people can make their own decisions. But it's a little harder to have rich experiences like that without the help of substances, which can can set you backwards. How do you know? Because I'm a human being. What you mean? I'm a human being. I'm a human being. I've had my experiences now. Being Dr. Kojo is easy. Being Kojo Sarko is very difficult. It's very difficult. I'm less social now, but I stopped drinking 8 years ago, and I don't even want to date. And this, I asked a crowd in Houston this at the show, and even in Nashville, the sentiment was the same. But now, I think now is the best time that I've ever seen in my life to not give up on dating, but now is the best time to put dating to the side and to work on yourself. Gas prices are high. Groceries are high. Jobs aren't hiring. Now is the best time to really focus on yourself. There's never been a better time. I'm not saying that you should stop dating if you're dating, but there's never been a better time to let the dating landscape just recalibrate itself. Let the natural order of things happen, and maybe reappear in the dating game in a year or two or three when things are a bit more stabilized. But there's never been a better time to work on yourself than now. There's never been a better time to work on yourself than now. I truly believe that. OMG, I'm always late to this live. Well, I always late to the live too, so that makes two of us. No worries. Fresh says, I love your videos. They made me feel so seen. Thank you for creating them. I appreciate that. Veronica says, I don't want to date either. I'm more at peace. A lot of people feel this way. And if you are neurodivergent, you have autism and ADHD, dating is going to come at a greater emotional cost to you, because just taking care of yourself is a full-time job. So you have to ask yourself, do I want to get myself involved with a whole different situation right now? And of course, we all want attention and affection and love, and the good old Mickey Ficky. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it really worth it for being dysregulated, or for being emotionally confused, or just not having the time or the money or the bandwidth to entertain somebody? Like, is it worth it? Now, Smart Statistics says, I'm never dating again. Now, I didn't say all that. Now, I didn't say all that. I didn't say give up dating for forever. I just said that now is the best time to really focus on yourself. And Dream says, are you here to disapprove of my doom scrolling? And no, I'm not. It's, guys, you have to understand, it's very difficult to get off of your phone. I am tethered to my phone. I don't like it. I'm actively working through this issue right now, the doom scrolling. And as somebody who posts a lot of content, I don't know how many videos I post, but we post a lot. We believe in quantity and quality. We post a lot of videos, a lot of skits, a lot of AuDHD videos, a lot of reactions. Like, I post a lot of videos. So I tell myself that when I'm doom scrolling, I'm doing research so I can make my videos better. But then I get roped into doom scrolling, and I'm on there for like 2 hours, 2 hours that I didn't have. 2 hours is the difference between getting 6 hours of sleep and getting 4 hours of sleep. Getting 4 hours of sleep versus getting 2 hours of sleep. Getting 3.5 hours versus getting maybe 6.5 hours if you doom scroll for 3 hours. So I'm right there on that journey with y'all, and we will do this together. We will do this together. Mariah says, yeah, after leaving my wife, I'm taking time for myself before I start dating again. Okay, no worries. Christine says, I hate dating. Jackson says, your wife is awesome. Thank you. I agree. Dating is hard. Bro, it does make my relationship harder with the reactivity and manic states. Let me read that from the top. My ADHD. My ADHD was diagnosed in elementary school and sustained. I'm assuming that's what you meant. But it's paired with a mood disorder. Okay. It does make my relationship harder, especially with the reactivity and manic states. Oh, that's yeah. Just the ADHD piece by itself will make your relationship harder. The reactivity, feeling things very deeply, being sensitive, all that can make your relationship harder. And then you throw in the mania, the impulsivity, the high highs, the low lows, that will affect your relationship as well. For sure. For sure. Courtney on TikTok says, I'm struggling with life in general. I'm having a hard time getting back into seeing someone. And guys, that's why I said now is the best time Now is the best time to work on yourself. It's the best time to work on yourself. The best time to work on yourself. Because if you're struggling to take, some of us have to learn how to become a human being all over again. I feel like I've had to do that like 4 or 5 times as an adult. Yeah, at least 4 or 5 times I've had to learn how to become a human being all over again. Because I'll crash out and I'll burn out, and then I'll have to like learn the basics. Like, and when it comes to the basics, number one is get sleep, right? Nothing's more important than sleep. Get sleep, exercise, and eat well, right? Drink water, all of that. Then after that, you have setting boundaries. You have no, actually, your job, and setting boundaries, so on and so forth. So yeah, yeah. I read an article that said living life helps keep us off our phone. I agree. We should live life more. We should live life more. I'm not at the hospital anymore, but I do miss the hospital, specifically the psych hospital, Andrea. I love my dating break. Found out traveling alone abroad is freeing. And this is probably what a lot of people are going through, a dating break. A dating break. I want to date a homebody, all the homebodies who don't know that. So I feel like on every single date that I've been to in my life, the woman across from me has described herself as a homebody who loves to travel to France. So I don't know, like everybody's a homebody nowadays. Like apparently, yeah, that's how it is. Everybody's a homebody. I remember I had one boyfriend who would hold hands and rub my hand with his thumb. Drove me insane. How horrible is that? Oh my goodness! You just gave me an idea for a skit. Ugh, this is annoying. I mean, you should have let him know. So like you're holding hands and you just like rubbing your hand with his thumb. Yeah, this is how people get punched. Okay, people get punched. I suck at flirting once in a while. If someone in a relationship in some cases fucked it up. But okay, she messed it up. I'm not trying to find anyone at the moment. Guys, like I said, there's no better time than now to actually work on yourself. Somebody asks a question that's not on the topic, but a very intriguing one. Dr. Kojo, what would happen if I took ADHD medications without actually having ADHD? You would be more productive than you are right now, more than likely. And you would get a lot of things done, and you would feel like you're better. But it's still a slippery slope, and people can definitely be addicted to ADHD meds. So, only take what you've been prescribed. My family at my worst, so there's hope for us all. That's good. Christian says, overall, I've never had a girlfriend. Okay, so I'm seeing this a lot nowadays, where there's a lot of people who have never had girlfriends or boyfriends, and I definitely think that it deserves its own live stream, because I have a lot of thoughts about this. And sometimes as a man, I can speak for men specifically, but as a man, you may feel some shame if you've never had a girlfriend, or you've never, like we sometimes take pride in the fact that we've been with this woman, or things like that. So to never have had a girlfriend, you may feel like you're behind or you're less than. I think that you're a very smart man. You're working on yourself. You're saving money by default because you don't have another person to just be mindful of. So it just buys you more time to become the person that you want to be, and then to put yourself back out there. And what's weird is growing on me, growing in me on not wanting to have a girlfriend at the same time. I still want to pursue it. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to, have a girlfriend. If you can find the right fit for you, go ahead. But if you also don't feel like you're able to attract what you would really want, then there's nothing wrong with just sitting on the sideline for a little bit. Play of asexual people too. Society has over sexualized TV media. Oh no, I do agree. I do agree. Things are way too over sexualized. It's too much. It's too much, and that's coming from somebody who I'm a man. I'm your average man who, I would say the average man is a horn dog, and I'm the average man. I have two eyes. I love pretty women, but it's gotten out of hand. It's way too over sexualized. And now I'm like, put your clothes back on. Put your clothes like I don't want to see it. It's become way too much. It's become an annoyingly over sexualized. So I definitely agree with that. Don't feel left out. That's how I ended up getting married. And very real for you to admit this, Labita. A lot of people feel this way right now. Thank you, Leilani. And we'll probably go on for like 10 more minutes and then actually 10 for real. Oh, dang. Everybody texting me right now. I'm still on the live stream. Yeah, 10 more minutes and then I'll be sleeping early tonight or attempting to sleep early tonight. But a lot of people who are currently married right now, and if the shoe fits, then the shoe fits, and no shame. But a lot of folks right now are married, and the only reason why they're married is because they felt lonely. They felt like that was their best option. They felt like this was the only time that they can get married. So they backdoored their way into a marriage, thinking that that would be the missing piece to their life. And it only brought more pain, more misery, more trauma, but you're still married to the person. Mickey Ficky, my goodness, how are you going to get out? How are you going to get out? And if you are this person, you don't have to comment, you don't have to show your face, but just something to think about. Just something to think about. And for people like Christian, who you never had a girlfriend, like just understand that you're in a better position than that person who backdoored their way into a situation that they thought that they wanted to be in, but they had no idea that this is what it took, or maybe it just wasn't the right fit. Oh yeah, your partner and dog can be best or worst decision. I completely agree. Marriage is overrated. I would say that it is overrated. It's still a very beautiful thing. I think marriage is a great thing, but it can be overrated. If that makes sense. Marriage is overrated the same way that marijuana is overrated. If that makes sense. Because getting high can like help a chronic pain. It can make your journey through this life, more colorful. It can help you out, but it comes with a whole host of problems that we can't ignore. When done right, marriage is beautiful. When gardening right, when done right, getting high. That's funny. That's funny. And yeah, this is good advice too. Don't get serious early. Like I was 22, moving like a grown man, married man, like in a dating game, made no sense. Made no sense. Caramel, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me see some of the comments on TikTok. Someone says marriage would be amazing if we lived in different houses. I get that comment. I completely get that. Because I don't know how well I do living with somebody else, even if they're my person. But I think that's something I like about this community. Y'all can understand that. But the average normal person, you tell them that you don't want to live with your partner, and they're like, "Well, what are you trying to do?" Are you like, whenever I mention that to somebody, the first thought that goes in their head is, "Oh, you don't want your girl to live with you so you can bring other women over." I'm like, how did you know that? That's what I was thinking. That's my plan all along. No, I need space. I need space. If you're neurodivergent, you get it. You get it. And if you're normal, you think that everybody's up to no good. And now there are people who live separately with the intention of being up to no good. So that's not a far-fetched accusation. But a lot of us just really want some space. And that's all. And there's nothing wrong with that. And TikTok, someone says, "Is it weird to miss your other so much that you just want to be with them 24/7, but live 2,000 kilometers away?" Look. That's not weird. If you're the type of person who likes being around your significant other 24/7, that's not weird. That makes you you. And guys, also one thing that I hope we can do better, like moving forward, is not waiting to see, not waiting for other people's validation before we state our opinions. Because if you like being with your person 24/7, then you like doing that, and I promise you, there's other people who love being around their person 24/7. Like, and that would be super cool. Like that's a thing out there. So if that's what you want, don't downplay that just because all of us are neurodivergent over here and we lack space. If you like being cuddled up with somebody the majority of the day, find somebody who likes doing that, and then you'll be very happy. Be very happy. Living separately but married. And look, there's nothing wrong with that, Leilani. Nothing wrong with that. I'd be neighbors with somebody before moving. Separate bedrooms. Separate bedrooms. I get that. I get that. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. If they're too far, you forget that they exist. Separate bedrooms is probably what I think I think that's what I'm leaning towards. The King Queen episode about the husband and wife deciding to get their own beds in the same room as an awesome idea. I have not seen that episode, but it makes me want to go back and see that episode because that's not a bad idea. Our own beds, especially if you're a wild sleeper, you like to move around and you like to kick and scream and shake. Royalty had their own chambers. I like space, but sometimes I wouldn't want to live somewhere else. I get that. I get that. Maybe just have a house big enough to where they can have their own room, or, they can have their own bed, their own something. Stuffed animal problem. My husband travels for work for months at a time, so I get my space 6 months out of the year. And thank you for bringing this up. You can also get space from your person by just working different shifts. If they work third shift and then you work second shift, and you really only have the weekend to see each other, you probably would have a stronger relationship because of your work schedules. So that on the weekends, when you're in front of each other, you actually spend intentional time with your person. You're not just like doing your own thing when they're in the room with you. Is this true or comedian fake? What are you talking about, Topping? He's just snoring and I'm a sleep ninja. That's funny. Like, have a stem room and he can have a hem room. I like this. Stem room and a hem room. I like that. Buddy says, I don't like to cuddle. I wish I did. I love showing affection, but cuddling is too much. Yeah, a lot of us can relate to that. My son is in the psych inpatient unit. I'll pray for him, you. I will pray for him. Let's see, anything else I didn't get on TikTok? I think I'm gonna do today, guys. I think I'm gonna go to bed early. There was a period in my life where, maybe for like 2 weeks, where I was going to bed at 7 p.m. and I was incredibly productive. And I thought to myself, wow, I just keep this up. Like waking up at like 3:30, 4 a.m. and then there's nobody to interrupt you, and then like, because when you wake up at 4 a.m. and you slept for like 7, 8 hours, that beats when you're up at 4 a.m. from staying up the whole night. Because when you stay up till 4 a.m., it's like, dang, tomorrow's gonna suck. I'm still up and it's 4:12 a.m. Tomorrow's gonna suck. When you wake up at 4 a.m., you slept for 7 hours, 8 hours, even 7 hours, and you wake up at 4 a.m., you're like, Oh, I woke up at 4 a.m. Today's going to be amazing. You seem tired today. Oh, no. I was very intentional about getting some sleep tonight. I took my sleep medication, took my trazodone like right before the live stream. I said, we're going to have to power through the live stream, but also hopefully it doesn't hit too early to where I can't brush my teeth and I just hop into bed and I crash out like this. And Courtney says I need 12 hours of sleep and I hate it. Some of us need more sleep than others. I think if I can get 7 to 8, I'm good. All right, guys. So we already read out the comedy show dates. So I'll just focus on the very next show that we have. The very next show that we have is going to be July 25th in Springfield, Massachusetts. That is next week, Saturday. My goodness, that's come by so fast. I can't believe it. Next week, Saturday. So next week, Saturday, I'll be in Springfield, Massachusetts, on the border of Connecticut and Massachusetts. I'm going to go check out Connecticut afterwards. And then the next day, we'll be in Boston or Beverly, Massachusetts at Off Cabot. So that is that. I did a challenge where I woke up at 4 a.m. with the gym at 5. You see how good you felt? Wow, woke up at 4 a.m., went to the gym at 5 a.m. You feel like you have so much stuff to do. Ooh, this is going to be me tonight. But it takes me a good hour to fall asleep, honestly. So if it's 8:35, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, why do we do this to go to bed? Like, that might have to be a skit. Going to bed is neurodivergent. It's a whole skit. Cause you'll be sitting there at the alarm clock, you'll be calculating how much sleep you're gonna get if I go to bed right now, or if I go to bed within the next hour, it'll be 9:30 at the latest. If I go to bed at 9:30 and then 9:30 to 12:30, that's 3 hours. 12:30 to 3:30, that's 6 hours. 3:30 to 5:30, that's 8 hours. If I wake up at 5:30, I get 8 hours of sleep. But all of this revolves around you actually going to bed at 9:30 and then actually also waking up at 5:30. And the hardest thing to do is to sleep on time and to wake up on time. But we're going to do it. NBA made me have a daughter. Oh my goodness. What a story time right there. ADHD math. Right. We're trying to figure it out. Like, if I do this, I'm going to have this much time. If the doctor's appointment is 30 minutes away and I have an hour right now, but I need to take a shower, I need to eat something real quick, and I need to walk the dog, will I get to the other side of town in time? Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to do it tonight. And I'll let y'all know how things are on Thursday if we're actually able to accomplish it. It's 8:37 p.m. Look, you see how precise you are with like the times when you try and figure out like when to go to bed. Like, oh, it's 8:37 right now. So if I wake up at 5:30, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I got it. I'm gonna get the rest. All right, so next live stream, y'all, is going to be at 6 p.m. West Coast time on Thursday, 9 p.m. East Coast time Thursday. So that's 9 p.m. in New York City. That's 8 p.m. in Nashville, 7 p.m. in Phoenix, 6 p.m. in Sacramento, California, 5 p.m. in Anchorage, Alaska, 4 p.m. in Honolulu, Hawaii, and 2 a.m. in the United Kingdom, England. So that is going to be the time of the next live stream, and I am going to do my best to get to sleep. This is a big challenge for me. This is a huge challenge for me to get to bed before 9:30. I feel like I'm on the clock. I got 52 minutes to get to bed, and I already took my sleep medication. So I'm like 60% of the way there. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. I love y'all. I appreciate every single person. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community. Wish me luck, guys. I'll keep it posted. Let you know what happens on Thursday. But wish me luck. I'm gonna do my best to get these 8 hours of sleep. I'm about to get off. I actually I'm questioning how accurate my Aura ring has been, because my Aura ring has tripped a couple of times this past week. I just charged it, so I don't know how accurate it is. So I got an Apple Watch that I'm going to set up and then track my sleep with it. But maybe tomorrow, because I'm too tired to set it up. But we will be evaluating how accurate this Aura ring is, and I'm going to have a backup. So I'm taking sleep much more seriously as a priority, and let's see how much better my life gets. And yes, I will brush my teeth. I'm about to do that right now. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder. So appreciate y'all. From the bottom of my heart and from my 4 wives and I, have a good night. Take care. Love y'all. Sweet dreams. Peace.